Salve a tutti ragazzi, bentornati sul canale di Funny Gameric. Siamo tornati su Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Continuiamo da dove ci siamo lasciati nella puntata precedente. Io in questa puntata vorrei continuare le missioni principali perché siamo con il nostro povero Harry che non ha niente, non ha un'armatura, ha un'arma scarsa, no, due ne ha. Si ha una spada e un arco che però sono scarse, ecco, e ogni volta ci uccidono sempre, perdiamo sempre i duelli, ecco. Vabbè, quindi ci spostiamo su intrusi alle nozze. Trova il modo di partecipare al banchetto. Partecipa al banchetto nuziale con l'aiuto del fabbro Radovan. Partecipa al banchetto nuziale con l'aiuto del mugnaio Grazel. Io queste missioni secondarie le vorrei fare, ragazzi, però in questo momento, secondo me, dobbiamo continuare la storia principale. Perché dobbiamo livellare in sostanza. Aspettate un attimo che forse possiamo prendere un'abilità. Agilità, maniabili. Maneggi le armi con facilità e naturalezza, come se non avessi mai fatto altro fin dall'infanzia. Apprendiamolo. E anche dialogo. Favella magica. Dicono che il silenzio sia d'oro, ma per te di solito è il contrario. Ottieni un bonus di più 4 al dialogo quando contratti, così da facilitare le trattative sui prezzi. Merci lucidate. La qualità parla da sola, ma tu sai comunque come incoraggiarla. Quando vendi armi, armature e ti frutteranno il 10% di soldi in più. Ok, ragazzi, sto registrando a luna di notte. Mi sa, sono leggermente dislessico, non ci fate caso. Qui abbiamo finito. Andiamo qui. Partecipa al banchetto nuziale. Così al buio è un po' un'impresa. Questo gioco si fanno tantissimi ritagli, ragazzi. Ci avventuriamo di notte. No, 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 no. Cazzo, cazzo, cazzo. E che cazzo, però?
Show what you're made of. I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker. What do you want? Take that. I'm all yours. Too slow.
Vaffanculo. E vaffanculo. Iniziamo a sclerare. Iniziamo a sclerare. Dai, tra poco diventa giorno. Questo è un po'.
What are you doing here?
I'm resting. There has been so much to do lately that even I, too, must rest before proceeding. Like peasants at harvest time, that is hard labor too.
Where are you going?
Wherever I am needed, where my help is required.
With what?
Sometimes with their pain, their suffering, their hatred. It varies from one soul to the next.
Oddio.
I don't understand.
No one truly comprehends my words until the time is ripe, and when they awaken and understand. There is no time to tell anyone. There is no time to explain it to anyone, because their time has come.
Time for what?
If I may, I have a question for you too.
You may.
We have seen each other many times. Why have you left it until now to stop by?
I don't remember seeing you before.
Really? I have always been with you whenever you... Well, never mind. Just consider how many times you have had me by your side. I am leaving now. Good luck, Henry of Skalitz.
You know my name. And you know where I'm from.
I was there. It kept me very busy.
Ma? Chi è sta tizia? Ambigua? Qua c'è un corpo. Stiamo arrivando, ragazzi. Stiamo andando nel fabbro Radovan.
God bless.
What a nice maypole. It'd be a shame if something...
What?
Nothing. Nothing. Really, very nice.
I'll say, the best in the county. Do you know why?
No?
Because it's the only one. We top with the one in Jelioff. They never saw it coming. Nobody gets the better of us. I don't think they're gonna try anything after that beating anyway. Even if they do, Henrik will raise the alarm and we'll kick their asses again. Farewell.
C'è l'albero della cuccagna qui. Sì, c'è l'albero della cuccagna qui.
Where do you think you're going? Well, what's it gonna be? Piss off! Out! Now! Out! Now! Well, what's it gonna be? Click. Hey! That's our food! Give up!
Buono.
I said surrender! What are you waiting for? Surrender immediately!
I surrender!
You wanted to eat for free, did you, beggar boy? That's theft, you know. Food costs money, and it'll cost you double.
Vabbè, pagare la multa. Non ho soldi.
But wait, I didn't want to steal. I was starving, and when I was going by, that food smelled so delicious. I couldn't resist it. I'll make up for it. I swear. I'll bake some cakes and bring them.
They better have nuts in them. Get out of here, before I change my mind.
A posto, a posto. Comunque dobbiamo andare a fare la missione principale. E lui? Radovan, ecco.
Greetings.
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Beh, non lo so.
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Farewell, my friend.
Il figlio del fabbro. Ma se lo sa fare mio padre non è detto che lo so fare pure io. Partecipa al completo, ok.
Go over to the anvil and let's get started.
Mettiti all'incudine e cominciamo.
I'm as hungry as a wolf.
Acciaio, materiale, assaggio, ottavi metallici. Inizia la
Are you gonna
forgiatura.
get started then?
Come si fa? Inizia a forgiare, ok. Spada da caccia.
Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it a bit by bit. Try poking working it around for a bit.
Muovi la lama nella fornace.
Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellow.
Accendi la fornace.
Take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out.
Esamina il pezzo da lavorare. Perfetto.
See? It's the color of straw, which is what you want. And you heated the whole thing up. Nicely done. Now you can go straight to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it.
Ma che spettacolo, ragazzi. Come si fa?
Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are.
Ah, così.
That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Henry, what are you waiting for?
Vai.
Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway.
Ok.
It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes
Ma
you've
deve essere
got
nella
to go there
fornace.
and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before.
Assurdo.
The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. See that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. Well struck. sparks are flying. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself. There you go. You've got it finished.
Finito.
All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
Sempre la lama. Forgiatura riuscita. Che spettacolo.
Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
Che serve fischiare.
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same everywhere, if your forging's going to be even. The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. But don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace, take it out.
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it up. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working unevenly. The best thing to do is aim each strike next to the one before.
Come ho fatto io. Ho fatto bene allora.
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. They can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them. Though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
Where exactly is my bed?
At the side of the house. There are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed. And you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry, nobody'll steal them.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right. Here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
Benissimo, abbiamo un nuovo lavoro. Abbiamo un letto tutto nostro pure. Perfetto. Quindi questo è il nostro letto. Ecco, mangia dalla pentola. Perfetto. Aspetta, ci laviamo.
God grant you help.
Greetings. What brings you here so early in the morning?
Che splendido albero della cuccagna.
That's a beautiful maypole. We never had one quite like it back home.
Aye, ours is the prettiest. And also the only one in these parts. That's why we keep a close eye on it. Nobody's managed to steal it in recent years, but not for a lack of trying. Except, I feel sorry for my poor Hinyik, having to worry about it.
Il tuo Eric.
Henyuk?
He's my sweetheart, I suppose.
Ok.
It's complicated.
Complicated? Is something wrong?
Well, since you asked, my parents forbid us from seeing each other. They're all up in arms over it. They're just not fond of him. So we have to meet in secret, which is impossible now, since Henyek doesn't have the time because he has to watch the maypole.
Well, what if someone took over for him and he had some free time tonight?
I'd like to see that. He's tired, but it's a matter of honor for him. Besides, the others wouldn't be happy if they found out.
We'll see.
See you soon, my friend.
Organizzo l'appuntamento per Eric e Manca. Perché lo possiamo fare, lo facciamo.
So, this is your famous maypole.
È questo.
I'm too conspicuous during the day. Better to try at night.
Ruba l'albero della cuccagna. Ok. Si deve rubare di notte.
Greetings. What brings
Stava
you here so
dormendo.
early in the morning?
I talked to Manka. She mentioned you two are having some problems.
Well, if she already told you, no sense in covering it up. Aye, we are. Me and Manka love each other, but her parents are against it. I don't even know why. They just don't like me. They forbid her from seeing me. We went to a dance together in Troskovitz recently, but when they found out, they were furious. Now they're keeping close watch over her and causing problems for me as well.
Prendi il tuo posto così voi state insieme.
Well, they can't be watching her all the time, can they? Just go out late at night sometime. Nobody'll notice.
We've done that a few times, but we can't now. There's no time for it. I've got to stand watch at night. I was drawn. This year, they want to keep the maypole up until harvest, and that's still far off.
Listen, I've got an idea. How about I stand watch in your stead for one night? You and Manka can go somewhere in the meantime. Nobody'll know.
You do that for us?
Of course. It's nothing.
All right, we have a deal. Ask Manka and let me know what she says.
Ah, così si può rubare l'albero. Bracciante.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
How you doing? I'm Henry.
Nice to meet you. I'm Zdeněk. I'm a storyteller. I could tell you stories so sad they'd make the devil cry. Or would you prefer something so scary it'll make the hairs on your ass turn white? But it's a lot of hard work for me. Now, if you had something to drink or a couple of groschen, that might help loosen my tongue.
Tieni, bevi qualcosa.
Your health, my friend.
Bambino, dai.
Thank you very much. I knew you wouldn't leave me high and dry.
Well, this doesn't seem too bad.
So what kind of story would you like to hear?
Cosa
I like
distruttivo?
stories that can teach me something.
Stories with a moral.
Haven't you heard enough of those in church? But it's not a problem. I have just the tale for you. And it's not one you'll hear from any priest. So, once upon a time, there lived in these very lands 2 brothers. The older was called Kuba, the younger, Matthias. They were both woodcutters, like their father and his father before him. One day, at the height of summer, they were working in the woods. The air was as hot as a furnace, so Matthias went to a nearby pond to cool himself. But as he was leaning over the cold water, there was a loud splash. His axe had got loose from his belt. In haste, he began to search the muddy bed of the pond, and his hands soon touched something hard and heavy. He pulled it out and could not believe his eyes. He pulled out an axe. Yes, but not his old one. It was an axe made of pure silver.
Good God. I'd grab that without a second thought.
Maybe you would, but Matthias would never. He was an honest man, and with a big swing he threw the silver axe back. He searched the pond again, and this time he pulled out his own axe. Nothing but dull iron and old wood.
Non lo so.
Wait, Matthias threw the silver axe back? What a fool! He could have sold it.
A fool, you say? You'd better listen well. Matthias was just about to leave when suddenly a water goblin came out of the pond, silver axe in his hands, and he said, "You're a righteous man, Matthias, and for your honesty, you may keep both axes." Matthias, not hanging around for the goblin to change his mind, took up both axes, gave us thanks, and ran to tell Kuba all about it. Kuba, however, was not best pleased with his little brother's fortune. He deeply envied Matthias for his newfound wealth. So, he set out to try the same thing. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him straight to the pond, threw his own axe in, and began a pretend search for it. Yet Kuba had no luck. He pulled out the axe he'd thrown in himself. So he tried again. Tricked by sunlight, he grabbed something shiny, only to pull out his old iron axe again. Enraged, he hurled his axe back into the water and yelled, "Fuck this axe! I want a silver one!" But the water goblin heard his shameful cry and was greatly upset by Kuba's greed. So, when Kuba reached down into the water for a third time, the water goblin seized his hand, pulled him down a hole to the dark depths, and drowned him.
Oh, that's so cruel. I feel sorry for Kuba.
Aye, and so did Matthias. He went to the water goblin and begged for his brother's body so he could take him home and bury him. But the path back from the pond led over a steep hill, and carrying the weight of the waterlogged body exhausted Matthias. He stopped to rest by an old oak tree, and he used a silver axe to cut off a branch that would serve as a walking stick. But it wasn't enough. Somehow, it was still getting harder to continue up the hill. Then Matthias realized it wasn't his brother's body that was weighing him down. It was the silver axe. The axe was the cause of all this trouble. So he started bashing the silver axe against the big stone with all his might, trying to destroy it. Yet no matter what, he couldn't even make a dent. With the last of his strength, Matthias climbed to the top of the hill. He knew he could go no further, so he found a pretty spot with a view over the valley and dug his brother a grave. There, he buried both his brother and the silver axe that had brought such pain upon them. His final act was to stick the oak branch in the ground by the grave. But lo and behold, the branch grew green leaves and became a tree. The locals have had no dealings with the water goblin since then, but some have had the bad luck to bump into him. And when you walk by the pier, where it all happened, you can still hear his chuckling.
È stata una bella storia.
That was a very nice story.
Story? What story? It's the truth.
Why hasn't anyone gone looking for the axe then?
Because it brings misfortune. Didn't you listen to me at all? Look for yourself if you wish. Rock Tower Pond isn't far from here. The What-a-Goblin's Pier is somewhere among the reeds. But leave me out of it. I'm fine here with my drink. It was good to see
I'm
you.
feeling a bit peckish.
Trova l'ascia di cui parla la storia. L'altra missione, praticamente.
I'm sorry.
Lord be with you.
Do you know Henrik at all?
He started going out with our monka a while ago, but we put a stop to it. In short, he's not exactly the kind of fella I want in my family.
Why? Did he do something to you?
I don't want him whisking Manka away, so we never see her again. His parents came here shortly after that terrible plague. There was a vacant farm, so they settled there. They had 3 sons, Henrik being the youngest. Say, have you met his brothers?
I haven't. Though I can't say I made an effort to.
Well, you couldn't have met them, even if you wanted, because they're not here. Both of them left. They say the younger one had a sweetheart in Troskovitz and took her with him. Nobody knows where they ended up.
Non hai torto.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You make a good point.
I'm telling you, one of these days, he's going to pack up and disappear. And I don't want him taking our monka along with him. He doesn't like folks talking about it. But wandering's in his blood whether he likes it or not. He's even got into fights over it. Just mentioning it is enough for him to clench his fists. I don't want Monka wasting her time with someone like him. You should try that on him.
Da una lezione a Nick.
You have a beautiful maypole. Does that mean life here is just as beautiful?
Aye, we're doing pretty well. And our fellas guard that maypole well.
But if they're guarding it, who's doing the other work?
That's why they take turns. Our Alshik was guarding it not long ago, but now the neighbor's lad, Henrik, is in charge of it. At least he doesn't have the time to fool around at night.
Is Alshik your son?
Aye, he's our boy, but he's giving Prochek a headache because he doesn't like having to herd sheep. Ask him about it if you want.
Ok. Ah, ecco la manca.
You mentioned you and Henrik are having some trouble.
Well, hi.
I talked to him, and we came up with a plan. I'll take over guard duty for him, and you two can have some time to yourselves.
Well, that sounds pretty good, actually. So how are we going to do it?
Tonight, when everyone's asleep, you'll sneak out and wait for Henrik. I'll take over his watch, and you two, well, can do whatever you want.
All right, agreed. Tell Henrik I'll be waiting for him. He'll know where to go. And tell him I'm looking forward to tonight.
Organizza l'appuntamento.
How's Alshik?
Tuh, how do you think? Great, of course. Pa's favourite.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know, Pa came up with this idea that he'd send Alshik to the bailiffs to learn to read and write. And that someday, when he's older, he'll get his own rat house.
Well, that's nice of him, isn't it?
I just wish he thought of what's best for me from time to time. It's always Alshik this, Alshik that. Oh! Why even bother?
Ok. Cioè possiamo dargli una lezione. Sono scelte praticamente. Sembra che dorme, perché giustamente la notte deve fare la guardia. Manca ha accettato di incontrarti. Possiamo decidere se affrontarlo oppure farlo incontrare con Manca.
Good news. Manka agrees. She'll be waiting for you tonight. She says you'll know where.
We'll meet by the maypole as soon as it gets dark, all right?
Aye, it's a deal.
Ok.
Henrik, what about your brothers?
What? Why do you care?
No, it's just that I've been hearing some interesting things about them around town.
Pah, let them talk. I don't know anything about them. They left.
Vabbè dai. No. Che se no poi l'affrontiamo e non possiamo rubare più l'albero della cuccagna, secondo me. Di notte credo. In teoria ci dobbiamo andare di notte per prendere il suo posto. Quindi direi per adesso di andare da fabbro. Mi sa che devo parlare ancora con lui. Sì.
You said you have some more interesting work for me. What would that be?
It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venza and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Da che parte sono andati?
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those two hands of yours, Venza and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right, I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
Un'altra missione.
I'm still not really sure of myself in the forge. Could you show me again how it's done?
Why not? Better to practice now than fuck up an order. Why don't you forge me another hunting sword? Have you got what you need?
Yeah, I have.
Let's see what you can do then.
Un'altra spada dobbiamo fare. Vabbè, inizio a forgiare.
Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done.
Ovviamente nel video ve l'ho tolto, ragazzi. Già ve l'ho fatto vedere come si forgia una spada. Perfetto.
I heard you could teach me something.
Sure, why not? If you pay me, I'll teach you a few of my tricks. What do you want to know?
Che mi paghi? No, vai via. Vabbè, abbiamo finito. Vabbè ragazzi, ma direi che ci possiamo fermare. Al prossimo video vediamo, casomai andiamo dal mugnaio Grace che si trova qui sotto. Mamma mia, ci dobbiamo andare. Ma però è opzionale, da come ho visto. Beh, al prossimo video faremo anche questa Lascia del lago. Ah, e dobbiamo anche rubare l'albero della cuccagna, quindi fare incontrare Enik e Manca. Ragazzi, come al solito fatemi sapere nei commenti cosa ne pensate. Continuiamo al prossimo video. Un saluto a tutti.